Ladies and gentlemen, I feel a little better after I patched myself back up and got a shower. Let's talk about what went wrong in America. Okay, I'm going to have a slow start to this because I'm going to talk about the Chinese dynasty. Sun Tzu, okay, was attributed to saying about fighting your enemy where they're not. Um, I'm saying bullshit. I'm saying I think the man was dead spot on. Uh, you see, in America, they've taken over our higher learning institutions. This goes to like you need a special license and a special permission to practice in anything. Well, if anybody's worth the salt or worth the shit, people will keep going back. But this is the problem, like they sued every those guys, those special guys with the yarmulkes. They've sued every businesses out of existence here, and it all went overseas, so people didn't have to do anything other than just collect unemployment. The hell with the United States. Your enemy is in the White House right now. They're dual citizens, okay? I'm going to go through a list here that we're going to talk about, okay? Like the CCP, China controls our higher learning institutions, okay? That was brought upon by Israel, okay? As they said, they were going for an easier path. That's what the Chinese, the first dynasty, the first dynasty may have been the Quan dynasty. They talk about 230 BC. The dates are probably all irrelevant to what I'm trying to convey is the Chinese were they were fond enough that they had enough wisdom that if they lost enough people, they're not going to have enough energy to project forward. So they decided to fight their wars with education. You could take over stupid people by giving them stupid ideas. Portland, number one, in Illinois. You use stupid people. That's where they came up with this. So they've taken over with the CCP our higher learning institutions. You see, that's why your son and daughter, their best chance is to be the best whore in town or the best dope dealer on the street corner. Okay? I'm not going to go into what I was going to say. What stop? I have a relative that wants they're selling synthetic cannabis or some shit like that. It's not sitting well with me. Okay? Let me get on here, okay? Now, the Z dynasty, that's with an A, almost like Z's in power now with the XI. The Z dynasty, okay, came about 2040 before Christ, okay? I think they have a lot of the dates colluded. I think they're trying to date these dynasties by artifacts that they found, okay? Etched bones. Your dead are champions. When they etch your bones with the date they killed you or where they killed you, that was the Chinese. They took home prisoners, and basically that's what they're doing with our country. Our country is now their fucking corpse that they're using. Okay? You talk about the prostitutes. The prostitutes are your communist, Jew-controlled media. You see, they returned the hostages, all but the female hostages. All of a sudden, this media recognizes gender. And they didn't say they didn't say they unalived them. They said, they murdered them. You see, when it suits the communist state and Jew media, then they use the proper pronouns instead of the alternate pronouns that they created. Okay? This is where I was telling people that you're being used by the prostitutes. Okay? They're the dual citizens, Chuck E. Cheesy, Ratskins, Dirty Dicky Doo there, or Dick Dastardly, whatever you want to call them. This is why I'm telling you people, you're being used as an idiot, a useful idiot. They want communism. That's why they're bankrupting people. And I tell people it's not the same everywhere. But I had a very close to death experience just a couple nights ago. I'm in my own fucking home where I feel safe. Okay? I went out and I bought a pest control device, and I have another one. Did you ever see I have to show people my pest control device. That's for big pests. Then I have other ones. Okay? The American people are being used by these liberal manipulators, okay? They're smart. They're with the Chinese, and they're very deep thinkers about how they go about things. Now, let me see if I missed anything. Oh, let's go to Crash Patel in Bongo there, okay? He's being questioned about the list of the perps. And he says, oh, we can't release the victims' names. Okay? I'm going to chase and I'm going to hound Dan Bongo and Crash Patel there because they just crash landed on their fucking nose. They're baiting the American people to vote for Trump for the last how many years? Oh, we have the Epstein list. We have the Epstein. Oh, then we don't have the Epstein list. Oh, then we don't know where it is. And oh, I can't release that. You know, it's like Christopher Wray 2.0 times 100. Okay? Oh, we can't talk about it. It's an investigation. Somebody should investigate whether Bongino and Patel there have a set of fucking balls. Because I don't think they do. You see, that's how infested we are with the CCP in Israel. Okay? And right now our president's over there kissing Jews' balls and Arab assholes. For, you know, maybe he's getting in a couple extra licks. We're talking about going after Iran again. When is he going to get around to the American people? The people that can't afford food, can't pay their bills. I want to know. I'm here trying to cook dinner. I had to scrounge up. I had to wrap change to go buy some goddamn gravy mix. I mean, this is fucking ridiculous. What? This guy came in. Oh, I'm going to straighten this out on the first day. The world's blowing up. Now he's going to give Ukraine tomahawks. You know what? Take out Putin's navy. Number one. Shut him down. No navy. Okay? He wants to throw ballistic missiles. Well, why did we build Israel the Iron Dome and give them all the technology and we don't have one? Okay? There's got to be something more to a lot of this. Because if that was me as president on day one, we would have had the Iron Dome going up. I would have had asses and elbows, every institution involved in it. And the software would not have been foreign made. Okay? That's where we're going with this. Okay? You want to talk about the prostitutes and the political whores like AOC became a millionaire overnight and she drives a Mercedes? That's just what a fucking whore drives. Okay? I drive a goddamn Chevy. I'm not a whore. Why isn't she driving a Chevy? Or a Ford? Oh, well, that's another subject, huh? You can't even buy a goddamn car that starts in your fucking driveway and it's all infested with spyware. You know what? That's getting to be a problem in America. That's another topic for another day. I'm automotive because I normally don't step out of my theater. But when I damn well dare get killed in my own home or on my own property, I've got a fucking problem with everybody. And I've got a problem with me having to put roofs on illegal aliens' houses, upkeep their goddamn fucking property. They don't cut their goddamn grass. I've got to do all this fucking bullshit. And then yet I got to pay bills. Maybe somebody's got to pay me. Okay? Okay? It reminds me of when I sell used parts. I used to sell on Facebook Marketplace. And, oh yeah, I'm coming for the part. I only want $25 or $30, or maybe I wanted $50 for a fender, or $100 for a door that was in good condition. And then the guy would get there and I have a picture of it right on Facebook Marketplace. It's a picture of what I have. Oh, it's the wrong color. Or, oh, I was expecting something else. Oh, it doesn't have the door panel. Will you take $50 for it? Get going. You know what I mean? But this is what they're playing in Washington. Okay, the Epstein list. We want to know who all the perps are. Okay? Even the victims want to talk. But we can't talk about the victims. Well, how about we can talk about the victims that want to talk and talk about the perps that are the perps of the victims? Okay? You see how this is a shell game. Okay? Our president rushes right off, puts Americans last, goes over kissing Jews' balls, Arabs' assholes, and his country's exploding on the inside, from the inside out. And instead of, like a doctor, treating the disease, okay, the infestation, okay, going after Prickster, all these other tricksters, Newscomb down there, I call him Governor Gruesome, okay? They're a piece of shit. You grab a hold of that son of a bitch by his neck, and you get rid of him. That's the way American way does things. You don't let the infestation keep manifesting. Okay? Let's not treat the symptoms. Let's treat the problem and get things straightened out. Okay? And this is where most voters are going to abstain from going to the voting booth. Okay? I think I stated maybe when I spouted off in my other video, I didn't vote prior to Trump. I believed in him. The first administration, things were going good. I was being able to pay bills. Not anymore. Let's see if I missed anything, okay? All right, we're going to talk about the dynasties, okay? Because they confuse the Quan dynasty, okay, with the Shen dynasty, the Z dynasty, okay? Zan and Ho, okay? Sun Tzu had a lot of good points. He was a deep thinker, okay? But he was trying to avoid war and preserve his citizens. So they learned to fight people, number one, in the early stages with infections. Sound familiar? COVID-19. The Chinese are wise. Well, I shouldn't say wise. We have the same wisdoms, okay? But we just declare that that's not ethical to do that type of warfare. Do you understand? It's like traffic traveling in two different lanes, okay? Well, we believe we're going to do it this way, and the Chinese are going to do it that way. We're being taken over, people. Let's see what I missed here. Oh, let's go to the insurance companies, okay? They know who you are. Invest in gold. Remember, what goes up must come down, okay? It kind of reminds me of when I was in the parts trade. Oh, that's what they're going to do to you. Okay, gold's no longer going to be the relevant thing, and it's just going to... And they took all your cash that they're spending on weapons right now. Israel, China, they create a new pyramid, okay? Now, there's octagonal, there's 5, 6, 7-sided pyramids all throughout the world. There's different style pyramids. That's how the Chinese think, is in pyramids. They make a different side to something. And that's why people are throwing all their money at this. And you think that gold's going to stay at that level? My prediction is, and even if I don't live to see it, okay, it's not going to stay at that level. Because there's something new that comes along every administration, every dynasty, if you want to call it. They have a different plenum, okay? That's why it's so important for Israel to keep the weapons, the industrial military complex alive. I don't want to spew foul. I call our DOD right now, it's kind of one of the foulest institutions. Everything's gone amok. And then Trump's pretending that he's going to control it when all of a sudden he just abandoned it, ran over to Israel to start kissing balls. That doesn't sit well with me, okay? Maybe a foreskin will get stuck in his throat and he'll wise up. I don't know. But I know Israel was the one that did Charlie Kirk. We all know who's manipulating because we have the dual citizens in our White House. And we need to stop this as Americans, okay? You can't have this controlling factor. The Democrats are... Why do you think they're recruiting these deprived people? People are becoming more and more impoverished. Even my level, where I used to be able to maintain, it's slipping lower and lower, okay? And they're going to manipulate those people and make them believe that they're their Santa Claus. That's communism, and it's wrong. Okay? We've talked about the dynasties. We've talked about the philosophy of how this is done. My family members and some people that know me kind of call me like Swami or whatever. I don't know if I accept that. I would accept some sort of, oh, well, you're a good philosopher. I stick on topic of my beliefs, okay? My beliefs never change. If you notice some of these propaganda videos from one time to another, they stick with one belief, and it fits their narrative, okay? That's normally the way a philosophy goes, but when you're a deeper thinker, okay, you have to think about the manipulation points that they're being tossed like big pharma, okay? Look at the commercials that are on your radio. It's either cars or ambulance chasers, okay? Every now and then you might get a supermarket or a product commercial, but that's every now and then. That's how bad things have slipped. You know, you don't have Comet Cleanser on there. You don't have STP oil treatment on there anymore. You don't have the good old-fashioned American products, Goodyear tires, Firestone, okay? The American monikers are no longer there, okay? It's your controlled industries, either controlled substances or your foreign made, okay? That's how philosophies and that's how America's being manipulated. And that's why basically, I stick to automotive, but when I have something to say, it goes the other direction. It goes to those idiots out there that don't understand what I'm trying to say. Okay? Don't be manipulated. Don't destroy your city. Go burn down the restaurant down the fucking street where you bought your food. Oh, that makes sense. Oh, then we're being told, well, those aren't the local people doing that. They're being imported by somebody. Oh, it's always somebody, but never a direct name. Well, they found them scumbags that scampered off over to Spain and Sweden and all that. Let's find a better America by being wiser people. I don't know how it's going to be done, and that's why sometimes I compliment YouTube. You know, let's have an open comments are welcome here. Let's have an open forum. Come on at me with this. Tell me that I'm wrong. Tell me that I'm wrong. Tell me that I'm grabbing at straws with the first dynasties of China. Okay? I've read that. I spent my time on a Navy ship where other people threw the books out because some of them were that thick and that thick. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, I was fascinated by what I was learning. And a lot of people didn't believe when I told them on that Navy ship, this shit's going to come to bite us in the ass in our future because I saw the way things were going. And especially the way it went with the DOD. Thanks for watching my video. Listen, watch my videos. Not everybody's perception is the same. But I think it's important that we get to share information. And I think it's important that YouTube doesn't censor. I've said nothing wrong. I've made no threats to anybody. I've just made relevant points. But then again, so have other people. Okay? And the first dynasties and what I'm quoting to you, everything is my personal experience and it's fact, it's documented, it's on Google, and a lot of it's on YouTube. So there's no chance that anybody should hit me upside with anything. Okay? I just about got killed in my own home. But I'm telling you where there's poverty and who's making it and how it's being made and why it's being made. Because it's a weapon being aimed at us. Thank you for watching my videos. I appreciate it. Comment. Please comment. Please.